Hi guys, welcome back to my XPS guide. Now I'm gonna review Shadowlord and Dark Knight Cecil. Both of them are kinda similar, and because they are a double hand finisher, let's compare them to Olive. Like you can see that Shadowlord attack boost is the same like Dark Knight Cecil attack boost, but you need to equip his Trust Master reward, which means you have wasted one slot on your ability slots. This means DKC attacks is easier to max because he still has 4 empty ability slots. Shadowlord has 100% true double hand, so it is superior than DKC fake double hand. The amounts are same 100% but inferior than Olive. So I can say that in terms of attack stats, Shadowlord is a little bit better than Dark Knight Steel because Shadowlord has higher base attack stats. Shadowlord also has a little bit more flexibility, okay, because he has true dual wield, while DKC doesn't have true dual wield. I guess that's one of his plus, okay. DKC has Man Eater though, okay. Combined with his Deathbringer, DKC can deal tons of damage against human. For defensive stats like health, defense, and spirit, they are about the same, but Shadowlord has death protection. It is only 50%, but it can happen up to 3 times per life. So I guess it is quite good, but the best protection he gets are all elements resist. Finally, a physical character that has confused resistance. And yes, again, the developer seems to have forgotten auto-refresh for Shadowlord. DKC has 5% auto-refresh. So both DKC and Shadowlord resist against dark damage, okay? DKC may be a little bit better when enemies able to imperil dark resist because DKC has 125% while Shadowlord only 100%. But they are not a tanker, so this may be not that important. I think those are things you need to know about their 7-star stats. So far, nothing so special about these two characters. Now, let's take a look on their abilities. Their abilities are kinda similar. Let's begin from Dark Imperil. Both characters able to imperil 100% Dark Resist, and that's amazing. But if you take a look Shadowlord, okay, he needs a setup by using Blood Weapon first, while DKC can simply go all out right from the start. DKC attack also has innate dark element, while Shadowlord doesn't. But yeah, Shadowlord Cross Mass has defense break included, which will multiply the damage further, more than DKC Soul Eater plus 2, okay? So in terms of Dark Imperil, DKC wins because he doesn't need a setup, but for real damage potential, Shadowlord wins because of 60% defense break. Now let's take a look on their strongest attack. DKC's strongest attack is his cooldown ability, Soul Over. It deals 13 times damage. Make sure you use this after you have imperiled the enemy's Dark Resist using your Soul Eater because it has 3 turns cooldown. This means it deals 26 times damage because as DKC, you want to equip his Trust Master reward, Deathbringer, okay, the Dark Elemental Greatsword. As for Shadowlord, his strongest skill deals 18 times damage, but it requires you to use his cooldown abilities, which doesn't deal any damage but adds insane 250% attack boost. This means Shadowlord has better potential to one-hit KO enemy, which is very important, okay, to bypass enemy's threshold attack. But if you take a look on the average damage for 2 turns, okay, without looking at the attack boost, DKC wins, okay, 13 times from Soul Over and then 7.5 times from Soul Eater, which means 20.5 times damage. And for Shadowlord, for 2 turns, you only deal 18 times damage. So I can only say they are about the same, okay, the power. But yeah, if you use two-handed weapon, then it is obvious that Shadowlord will outdamage DKC, and like I said, he is more powerful to one-hit KO the enemy. But if the enemy is human, I believe DKC will outperform Shadowlord. Now let's talk about the additional or other abilities. Okay, support. Okay, they are damage dealer but can cast support. I think on this department, DKC is the winner because he can help your tanker by giving him or her ominous aura. Okay, 50% damage mitigation is helpful. Shadowlord doesn't have support abilities for others. It is only for himself. 30% physical or magic mitigation are nice, but I think they are not useful because he is not a tanker. As for their limit burst, Shadowlord LB deal more damage than DKC, okay? 18 times versus 11.5 times. But you also need to pay attention to the LB crystals requirement. DKC only need 18 LB crystals, while Shadowlord need 30 LB crystals, okay? So DKC's LB deal better damage per LB crystal required, okay? But again, I prefer Shadowlord for better one-hit KO potential. So those are all their abilities. Now let's take a look on the equipment. One problem for Shadowlord is he has 3 double hand, but his main weapon is a sword. Right now, there are no two-handed sword, okay? If you equip him with two-handed greatsword, then it means you will lose 50% attack boost from your sword mastery. So I can say that his true double hand feels like fake, okay? One good thing about Shadowlord is he is more flexible than DKC. DKC is fixated on dark element, so he is useless on some battle. For Shadowlord, you are free to change your weapon element because his finisher skill is non-elemental. Okay, for abilities and armor equipment, they are about the same. So I think that's enough about equipment. My conclusion for DKC and Shadowlord. Let's start from DKC, okay? He is a niche finisher. If the enemies are human and have no resist against dark element, then he is one of the best finisher on that battle. But if the enemies are not human, he is average, okay? And worse if the enemy resists dark, because it is like you are being forced to use him, okay? So why you need to imperil? I know the dark imperil is big, okay, 100%, but if the enemy have 100% dark resist and you bring DKC only to make their dark resist into 0, that's kind of stupid maybe, okay? Because you can simply use other elements. His Trust Master reward is good dark elemental weapon, but I don't see it is being so special, okay? Because you can get glow cost greatsword. I know it doesn't have man eater, but again, it is niche, I think, okay? The KC STMR is the best Trust Master reward, the best Super Trust Master reward, okay? I mean, for fake double hand character like himself or Olive, okay? Get this as soon as possible if you have for DKC, because you don't need to 7 stars DKC on the battle. If Hyo is 10, okay, then I give DKC 6 to 7, okay, out of 10. For Shadowlord, he is better version of Dark Knight Cecil. The good thing about him is he is not fixed on dark element. He can become finisher for other elements, simply change your sword elements and then have other characters who can imperil that elemental resist. He only loses to DKC when it comes to fighting human enemy. Again, let's use Hyo as a standard here. If Hyo is 10, then I think Shadowlord is between 7 to 8, okay? Shadowlord Trust Master reward is also one of the best Trust Master reward for sword users. 60% attack boost is nice. For Super Trust Master reward, I have said this on other video, okay? I like this sword, okay, more than Omega weapon because I prefer 20% health than 16 attack. But if you want to stats whoring your character, then Lightning's Omega weapon is still the best. And like the KC, you don't need to 7-star Shadowlord, so feel free to get the sword as soon as possible, okay, when you have 4 Shadowlord. I think that's all you need to know about those two, okay? I call those two Badman returns, okay? Doesn't mean they are bad, okay? It is just sounds nice, okay? So, yep, thank you very much for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more Final Fantasy Brave Exvius guide. Bye bye, guys!